Girivaratari Ashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kanjabikari Gopijana Bhalava Girivaratari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kanjabikari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaratari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Radhe Jaya Nrisimade Jaya Prahlada Mahārāja Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Джайм Вишнупада Парамахамса Привраджа Качаря Штутара Шаташи Шримад Госвами Абхачара Наравинда Бхактивиданта Свами Шила Прабхупада Ки Джай. Джайм Вишнупада Парамахамса Привраджа Качаря Штутара Шаташи Шримад Госвами Бхактисиданта Сарасвати Такур Прабхупада Махараджа Ки Джай. Ананта Кути Вайшнава Вринда Ки Джай. Намачаря Шила Харидас Такур Ки Джай. Om Prem Saittakho Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Madhava Gopi Gopinath Radha Kunda Shyama Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai Vrindavana Madhura Dhamma Ki Jai Mayapura Navadvipa Dhamma Ki Jai Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya Ki Jai Tulsi Maharani Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Nitai Nitai Gora Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Agyanam Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaham Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadam Tikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sakhagana Raghunatam Ditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakhagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Svitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Banku Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadkara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripa sinkubheva aptitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Jayapataka Gosvāmī Nimne Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripradaya Nagaura Katta Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarina. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 35. It's on the board. Chapter is entitled Punishment and Reward of Kali. So we continue. Sūta uvāca parīkṣitaivam ādiṣṭaḥ kalir jāta-vepathuḥ tam udyatāsim āhedaṁ daṇḍa-pāṇim ivodyatam parīkṣitaivam ādiṣṭaḥ kalir jāta-vepathuḥ tam udyatāsim āhedaṁ daṇḍa-pāṇim ivodyatam parīkṣitaivam ādiṣṭaḥ kalir jāta-vepathuḥ tam udyatāsim āhedaṁ daṇḍa-pāṇim ivodyatam. Next, please. Sūta uvāca parīkṣitaivam ādiṣṭaḥ kalir jāta-vepathuḥ udyatāsim āhedaṁ daṇḍa-pāṇim ivodyata. Vaishnavis, please. Sūta uvāca parīkṣitaivam ādiṣṭaḥ kalir jāta-vepathuḥ tam udyatāsim āhedaṁ daṇḍa-pāṇim ivodyatam. Sūta uvāca parīkṣitaivam ādiṣṭaḥ kalir jāta-vepathuḥ tam udyatāsim āhedaṁ daṇḍa-pāṇim ivodyatam. Sūta uvāca parīkṣitaivam ādiṣṭaḥ kalir jāta-vepathuḥ tam udyatāsim āhedaṁ daṇḍa-pāṇim ivodyatam. Sūta uvāca. Śrī Sūta Gosvāmī said, Parīkṣitā by Mahārāja Parīkṣit. Evam thus, ādiṣṭaḥ being ordered. Sāham he, kaliḥ the personality of Kali. Jāta there was. Vepathuḥ trembling. Tam him. Udyata raised. Asim sword. Said. Idam thus. daṇḍa-pāṇim Yamarāja the personality of death. Evam like. Udyatam almost ready. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Śrī Sūta Gosvāmī said, the personality of Kali, thus being ordered by Mahārāja Parīkṣit, began to tremble in fear. Seeing the king before him like Yamarāja, ready to kill him, Kali spoke to the king as follows. Purport. The king was ready to kill the personality of Kali at once, as soon as he disobeyed his order. Otherwise, the king had no objection to allowing him to prolong his life. The personality of Kali also, after attempting to get rid of the punishment in various ways, decided that he must surrender unto him, and thus he began to tremble in fear of his life. The king, or the executive head, must be so strong as to stand before the personality of Kali like the personality of death, Yamarāja. The king's order must be obeyed, otherwise the culprit's life is in risk. That's the way to rule the personalities of Kali who create disturbance in the normal life of the state citizens. Please repeat after me. Should we repeat together the verse? Śrī Sūta Gosvāmī said, the personality of Kali, thus being ordered by Mahārāja Parīkṣit, began to tremble in fear. Seeing the king before him, like Yamarāja, ready to kill him, Kali spoke to the king as follows. Hare Krishna. So this section of verses describes surrender of Kali, 28 to 36. First, after he pacified the personality of Dharma and Mother Earth in the form of a wonderful cow, Mahārāja Parīkṣit took up his sharp sword to kill Kali, the cause of Adharma. And Srila Prabhupada comments it, that the first opening of this theme, of this section, how Kali surrendered. And Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, states that although in rainy season plenty of rain, of course, falls, but it doesn't matter that we shouldn't protect ourselves from the rain, right? There are umbrellas, there are special clothes. And the same way, the executive heads of the state and others means we, we should take all necessary actions against the activities of Kali or the person influenced by the age of Kali. That's our personal responsibility, to take all the precautions, to take all the necessary steps to prevent Kali from entering into our existence, into our life. And then, seeing the king intended to kill him, he gave up the markings of his royalty, his royal dress, in great fear, and bowed down to the lotus feet of Mahārāja Parīkṣit. And it's interesting, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states that the thoughts of Kali, it was not possible for me to fight him, therefore I will surrender. But Kshatriya cannot surrender, therefore I will show that I am not Kshatriya. I will give up my royal dress and will bow down to his feet. That's the thinking of the Kali. And thus immediately the real identity of this lower class man was disclosed, right? He's not a Kshatriya order, he's someone else pretending to be. And this is a trick of the Kali. Kali takes to 3 tricks actually, and we will trace the tricks of Kali and we will understand how to counteract these tricks. First, to come in disguise. That's first trick of Kali, right? For what? He came as belonging to the royal order, as a noble king. For what? To not be recognized as a Kali, to be able to do all the abominable activities or whatever he wanted, to not be recognized. That's how Kali tries to enter into our life as well, because we have to see how it implies to us, what are we, or where we are in the picture of this narration. That actually not about Mahārāja Parīkṣit and Kali, that about us and Kali, because Mahārāja Parīkṣit represents all of us. And nice analogy is given that Mahārāja Parīkṣit and his kingdom, that's our intelligence, and the kingdom are our body. I like this very much, because that's what we are facing. We are here in our bodies, like the living entity, the jiva, and our intelligence, that's Mahārāja Parīkṣit. And raised sword in the hand about the Kali's head, that what? That jnana asim. That's the sword of jnana, a sword of knowledge about our identity. Starting from this, that's how we can counteract Kali. How that's how can we prevent Kali from entering? By developing our spiritual intelligence. That's our own king who rules our own kingdom, and we are a citizen, only citizen. So it was first trick of Kali to come in disguise. And the second trick of Kali right here, he is surrendering. But it's not real surrender, right? Manasa deha geha, gehi chumor, right? Arpilu tuapade, nanda kishore. That's a way to surrender to the Lord. Manasa, deha, and geha. With the mind, with the body, with the family, and whatever it can be more. Ar-kichumor. That's Bhaktivinoda Sharanagati. That's the way to surrender. But did Kali surrender all of this? No. It was show bottle surrender. It was another trick of Kali to sneak in the place of Dharma, to sneak in the relationship of Dharma. It's interesting how Mahārāja Parīkṣit reacted on this false surrender. It was totally false, right? Of course, he didn't surrender. Affectionate to the helpless, he didn't kill him out of his mercy. He spoke to him with slight smile. It's also very significant because Acharyas commented on this slight smile and also the way he reacted. He didn't kill him. King considered, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, since he has surrendered, I cannot kill him. If I kill this evil person because of killing a surrendered person, a religion which has just appeared will spread. He will enter into me. And he will not die because he entered into me. I will become him and he will become me. And then when the head already corrupted, when the Kali entered in the existence of the executive head or the king of the state, then what? Everything is spread. The irreligion, Kali, is spread around like a blazing fire in the forest, right? And Mahārāja Parīkṣit couldn't kill him because he couldn't overstep the codes of Dharma, because he is upholder of Dharma. He is a maintainer of Dharma. So how could he overstep this? And apparently, this following Dharma supported the Dharma, because that's how Kali entered, right? Because the easiest way was just to kill him. But because Parīkṣit Maharaj couldn't do it, it was surrendered person, so happened what happened. Somehow Kali entered. But Mahārāja Parīkṣit also slightly smiled because he could understand that that was the plan of the Lord. He could feel from within, the Lord indicated to him that that's my plan. You follow Dharma, he will follow his Dharma, and everything will be perfect. It's also very interesting. But still, Mahārāja Parīkṣit wanted to kill him. Still raised sword above the Kali's head. With a smile, he speaks the following: you cannot stay in my kingdom where Dharma flourishing. You cannot stay there because it's pure place where everyone worships Vishnu. And you, with your qualities, untruthfulness, theft, vulgarity, harsh speech, quarrel, not following dharma, deceit, you will contaminate that place. And pride, of course. Therefore, I forbid you to stay in my country. But then Kali took to the third trick, tried to bargain, tried to negotiate about some compromise just to enter by hook or by crook. It's also interesting. Okay, he told the king. Trembling, Kali spoke here. The next verse. So your kingdom is everywhere. Whole planet is your kingdom. So you forbid me to stay here, but where will I stay? Can you please give me some place to stay? All right, that was another trick. Okay, not by disguise, not by false surrender and then bargaining. Okay, just give me a little space, at least some space to stay, not big, whatever you want. And then Mahārāja Parīkṣit was thinking. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur reveals this intention of the king. If he does not follow my order, get out of him. Yeah, I will kill him, because that's the right of the king to punish because of not following his order, and he will not have any fault in it. So it's proper to do. But I still want to kill him. I still raise sword above the Kali's head. I want to kill him because I understand the danger of Kali's activities and existence. If he obeys my order, then I will not kill him. So, because he surrendered and Mahārāja Parīkṣit accepted his surrender, or so-called, although of course being so wise and spiritually enlightened and being the great devotee, he could understand that it's strict. But still he followed his dharma and he allowed him to stay. He gave him 4 places because he was a praja already. He became praja, he became a citizen of his country, so he had to be protected. Therefore he gave him these 5 places. Which places? Where intoxication takes place, gambling, meat eating, or prostitution, and the gold. In all these places, it was allowed him to stay. So it was another trick, and it was accepted by Mahārāja Parīkṣit. The natural question, why? He accepted all these 3 tricks of Kali, although he could perfectly understand, right, their tricks to Kali, for Kali to sneak in his country, and this worshipable area of love of Godhead. But it's interesting, the way Dharma acts. Apparently, Dharma in this case was supporting Adharma, right? Following the Dharma was supported the sprouting or blossoming of Adharma there in this hardly. So how to resolve this apparent contradiction? Actually, we follow the highest Dharma, and the highest Dharma is to satisfy the Lord. In whatever way the Lord is pleased, this is our Dharma. We have to follow this. Therefore, we follow Sanatana Dharma, with which Lord always pleased. And what is this? It's devotional service, eternal devotional service with Navanga Bhakti, starting to Shravanam and Kirtanam, Smaranam. Why? Because it gives highest, which is so valued by the Lord, the love of Godhead, the love for Him. He likes it so much. Why? Because it gives the jiva, he's always considering the jiva's interest. He gives the jiva pure love of Godhead, and this is source of all happiness. So it's totally supported by the Lord, and if the prema is in picture, which is so dear to the Lord, then the activities directed to prema pamarthamaham, that's our goal, that's the goal of Sanatana Dharma, then the Lord is satisfied. So we have to do whatever direct us to prema in the terms of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana, whatever philosophy supports. So we have to accept it as the will of the Lord. Thus we can recognize any contradiction. Whatever pleasing the Lord, we will follow. So how Kali got his qualities, it's also interesting because they so abominable. Kali has his history, his lineage, and he comes from Brahma. And it's described in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 8. Kali was great-great-grandson of Brahma. He comes directly from Brahma in this lineage. One of sons of Brahma was irreligion, adharma, and the wife of irreligion was falsity. From the combination of this, that's two personalities, real personalities. It's not something else, but they represent these qualities. One represents the quality of adharma, of not following dharma. We know the 4 principles of dharma. What is this? Mercy. Yeah. Purity, austerity, truthfulness. Yeah. These 4, actually, there are more, but at least 4 we have to remember. The lacks of dharma, the lacks of religion. And it's also interesting why Kali takes to disguise. He could have come in his normal form, but because he didn't want to recognize, and he is recognized by the only remain lack of dharma, and this is truthfulness. If person is truthful, he will always recognize Kali and his appearance and his qualities and his attempt to enter. So the truthfulness, that's the indication of ability to counteract Kali, if we are truthful. So because of this, he comes in disguise. Then with the last lack of religion will be finished, then Kali will appear in his original normal form as horrible demon. So from irreligion and his wife falsity, 2 demons were born, named Damba, or bluffing, and Maya, cheating. That's the ancestors of Kali. And these 2 demons were taken by another demon, Nriti, or Niriti, who had no children. So he took these demons to bring them up. And from Damba and Maya were born Green and Nikriti, cunning. We see the intercourse between sisters and brothers. They come in this lineage as sisters and brothers. Damba and Maya, they're sisters and brothers. They came to adharma and falsity. And the first intercourse between sisters and brothers, which is so demoniac, actually manifests these demoniac qualities in this world. If the source is demoniac, then whatever comes from the source will be demoniac. That's how the qualities of Kali entered into this world, into this universe, from not properly following the rules of lineage. We cannot have this kind of dealings between sisters and brothers. Cannot. But here it started from this, right? And from this cunning and greed, Krodha and Himsa came. Krodha, that's envy, anger, and Himsa, that's envy. Yeah, they were brothers and sisters, and they were parents of Kali. And from this combination, Kali was born. With his sister Durukti, harsh speech. Perfect combination. And from this combination of Kali and harsh speech, 2 children were born, Mrityu, death, and Biti, fear. Again, by pairs. male, female, to produce the same, male, female, demoniac qualities. And from their combination, yatana, excessive pain, and niraya, hell, came. It's interesting. So beautiful, wonderful lineage of Kali's ancestors and children, we can see. That's how all this, actually all these personalities, they represent different qualities of Kali, right? That's what Kali gives when he comes. Also, as Srila Prabhupada mentions here, he makes this point, we have to be really strong, so strong as to stand before, in this purport, to the 35th verse, he states this, stand before the personality of Kali like the personality of death. We must be so strong to be able to do it. I would say that's our personal responsibility to stay like this, before the personality of Kali. It's, and then how to get this strength, or who is not able to counteract Kali. Srila Prabhupada also raises this topic in the first canto, 15th chapter, verse 37 in Purport. He says, the influence of Kali can be enforced only upon those who, first, have poor fund of knowledge. That's how Kali can enter. And the second, not fully developed in God consciousness. This is the cause and this is the result. Because of poor fund of knowledge, we are not developed in God consciousness. That's two reasons of Kali to enter, or two preliminary qualification for us to receive Kali. And another word, Kali comes to those who doesn't have a real spiritual intelligence, because this knowledge is the basis of our intelligence. Our intelligence starts from the knowledge. It's also very interesting. How we can become strong to counteract Kali, we have to understand the functions of the intelligence. What is weak intelligence? What is strong intelligence? Weak intelligence, that's material intelligence. And strong intelligence, that's spiritual intelligence. And let's analyze the intelligence in general to be able to understand what to do with intelligence, or how to develop the intelligence so that prevent Kali from entering. That's our goal. So intelligence has three functions. First is smriti, that's our memory. And this knowledge about which Srila Prabhupada speaks in the purport to the first canto, 15th chapter, 37 verse, this knowledge is the content of our memory. So the memory should be filled in with the knowledge. Which kind of knowledge? So if the intelligence is material, so knowledge will be material. The smriti, shakti will be material. Material knowledge, the qualities of this knowledge is always incomplete. It's always sporadical. It doesn't give any complete picture of reality, neither material nor, of course, spiritual. Nobody knows anything about the spiritual world. And also, it's always relative. It's like this because this is like this. If it's changing, this is changing. So it's always, we have this facing of changing of paradigm, different ideas changing each other, therefore knowledge changes. In other words, it's concocted knowledge, more or less we can say this. So can it be the basis of the intelligence? Incomplete, always concocted, always relative, and sporadical. It doesn't give any picture of reality. We cannot do anything with this knowledge. And in Bhagavad Gita 2.63, Krishna states, Smriti Brahmshat Buddhi Nashat Pranashati. Smriti Brahmshat, if the Smriti or memory is bewildered, then intelligence is lost. And when the intelligence is lost, then person falls into material pool again. So this is the basis of intelligence. If there is no smriti, if there is no memory, if there is no knowledge and memory, then the intelligent, as Mahārāja Parīkṣit, like carving the kali, it will not act. So for carving kali, for our intelligence to be Mahārāja Parīkṣit, it has to have this spiritual knowledge. And this spiritual knowledge comes from the books of Srila Prabhupada. What we read? We read such wonderfully structured knowledge, such full knowledge. We just consume it, and it's so natural. It gives like full picture of the world. It's so structured with all the different categories, the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, always there, and it's nicely described, and all these interconnections between different categories are given. Like, so it's Srila Prabhupada. So we getting from books of Srila Prabhupada most complete, most truthful, most beautiful, and eternal knowledge. It never changes. More than this, we can say that Srila Prabhupada gives not just knowledge, but knowledge of bhakti. That's the highest type of knowledge. He gives bhakti vidya. That's the content of our memory. It's never diluted with anything, with jnana or karma. Nothing is there. There is no imperfections. There is no alloys in our unalloyed bhakti there. So whatever Srila Prabhupada gives, that's cream. That's cream of this knowledge. And we are getting like such a wonderful, such a tasty knowledge, which is really wonderful to even consume, to even make understanding out of this knowledge. This is first function of intelligence, our smriti. And then, okay, this bulk of knowledge is given. Then second function of intelligence, and it's come from Srila Prabhupada's books. And the second function of knowledge, that vichar shakti, yeah, the ability to analyze whatever we get, all this knowledge, we have to analyze, we have to structure it, and we have to make categories, we have to put different categories in different folders on the shelf in the store of our memory, and put different labels. This is karma, this is jnana, this is bhakti, this is whatever it can be, jiva, prakriti, and then ishvara, kala, karma, and bhakti. So different folders on different, this is material part, this is spiritual part. I put like this. This comes because of this reasoning ability. I reason. I think about what I read, and I put everything there. And this cross like sections between them, like how they interconnected, it's also done by all this connection between them, to trace them, to understand, and to make it the part of our memory. It's also done by this vichar shakti, or the potency to reason. And this vichar shakti, even mere like this ability to reason, it also comes from the book of Srila Prabhupada. He always teaches us how to reason. His purports of Bhaktivedanta, they are perfectly structured. If we see, it's like full and full. First, Srila Prabhupada present the topic, whatever is in the verse, and then he describes this topic until we thoroughly analyze it. He analyzes this from different perspectives, from different angles of vision, and finally this topic thoroughly discussed, thoroughly opened. The depth is there and thoroughly understood by us because of this. So this is ability to reason. It also we are getting from Srila Prabhupada's books, from Srila Prabhupada's purport. We are eternally indebted to him for this. Even the ability to understand this knowledge comes from Srila Prabhupada by this Vichara Shakti. And then third, that's function of Viveka Shakti. Viveka means the ability to discriminate. Now, okay, I did everything. whatever was prescribed. I got the knowledge, I categorize it, I understand how they work by Vichara Shakti, and then what to do with all this, how to apply this in my life, how individually apply it. So this application is done by Viveka Shakti, or ability to discriminate, on the three levels: what is good, what is bad, right? Different categories: material, spiritual. In the field of Sambandha, the relationship between us and this world, between us and other jivas, between us and the Lord. What is good, what is bad, right? This is field of Sambandha. And then higher, it depends on our level of what we like to do, where we want to discriminate, or where we will discriminate. For Kanishta Adhikar, for the beginning, is it a good thing to do or is it a bad thing to do? This is first level discrimination. The second, okay, I understood this Sambandha. Then Bideya, the process, what to do, what not to do, to get to Prayojana, to Prema. Is it a good thing to do or is it a bad thing to do? So I decide on the basis of this Viveka Shakti. And then finally, the third level of discrimination, that's already in Prema. It's already in Prayojana. I discriminate between, or in rasa, between different categories of rasa when I am already eligible to do it. So that's how we, and according to this, we have different interests as devotees. Some really want to discuss or understand better Sambandha. Some want to discuss actually we are movement of Abhideya, right? Rupa Nugas, how to get to Prayojana. Therefore, whole our sadhana, that's our Abhideya, and we are getting there by discriminating what to do, what not to do, and how to do. Yeah, that's the second level. And the highest, that's where I get to Prema, where I am there in the picture, in which lila I am. That's the highest. Okay, kind of discrimination in rasa. Where is my rasa? Where is my place in the spiritual reality? So these three things of Viveka Shakti, three levels of Viveka Shakti. So why it's so important to have the spiritual intelligence? Why? It's stated by Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita 3:43. Evam buddheh param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmanam jahi shatru mahabaho kamarupa durasadam. Almighty armed one, he addressed Arjuna. One should stable the turbulent mind with deliberate spiritual intelligence, and thus by spiritual strength to curb or to counteract or conquer this insatiable enemy, which is named lust. So see how beautiful it is. So by this intelligence, spiritual intelligence, or deliberate spiritual intelligence, which is our spiritual strength. Krishna nicely put it in wordings. Spiritual intelligence means spiritual strength. That actually what makes us strong in counteracting all the influences of this age. So what we counteract? The enemy known as lust. Because if lust is there, then all other qualities of kali will sprout, will flourish. If lust is not there, nothing will come from kali. So first, we have to start our dealings with lust. We have to conquer the lust, and it's done by this intelligence with which we discuss. But Srila Prabhupada has also made the point. What if still devotee doesn't develop this intelligence? Because we have different guna karma. Some may have good memory, some may not have good memory, some, although we are trying, we are reading Prabhupada's book, but still Prabhupada so wonderfully gives us hope, and it's discussed also in his purport to Bhagavad Gita 10:10. A person may have bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to some spiritual organization, but still, if he is not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions to always, so that he may get there, may achieve him. And it's so beautiful. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamu payadipte. So, if we are not developed spiritually through our spiritual intelligence, then another hope, if these two conditions are fulfilled by us, Tesham satata yuktanam, always being engaged in devotional service, satata yuktanam, bhajatam, devotional service, pritipurvakam, with priti, with at least some feelings towards the Lord, then the Lord will do his part. He will direct from within. It's so beautiful, isn't it? We always have hope to counteract Kali. And that's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in his purport to this verse that that's direct enlightening of Krishna, the direct inspiration, the Buddhi Yoga, the direct inspiration of Krishna within our heart. That's what Krishna gives us directly. And then Arjuna asked, okay, these jivas, they covered with ignorance since time immemorial. Its darkness is there in their intelligence. So how come that they are getting enlightened, that they are getting knowledge, and they are getting still understanding or realization of this knowledge? Can you please explain how it's possible for jivas who are there in the darkness of Kali Yuga, who are there in the darkness of ignorance, how they can come to this? And wonderfully, Vishwanath Chakravarti says, putting this in Krishna's lips, I become Atma Bhavasto. And that's next verse, 10:11 of Bhagavad Gita. Tesham evanukam partham. Aham agyana jamta maha nashayam yatma bhavasto. Gyana dipena basvatam. Giving them special mercy, Tesham evanukam partham. Aham agyana jamta maha nashayam atma bhavasto. I become Atma Bhavasto. As the bee enters into the lotus and stuck there, I enter into their heart in my personal spiritual form and become situated in their bhava, Atma Bhavasto. For what? To dissipate with the Jnana Dipena Basvata, dissipate the remain darkness which may be there, remain ignorance which may be there, which impedes a real knowledge from opening, from manifesting me in my personal form. That's Rupa. We will see his Rupa. And then with the torch of the knowledge of the qualities of this form, that's another manifestation of Krishna, guna of this Rupa, or qualities of this Rupa, of this form. I will shine, I will give light to the remain darkness, I will dissipate this remain darkness. And what is this remain darkness? That's the ignorance about Lila, the third manifestation. That's how it will come into place. Rupa, Guna, and Lila of the Lord. So beautiful. And then today we have a wonderful appearance day of Baladeva Vidyabhushana. He was a great acharya in our lineage, coming from Lord Chaitanya. And he states, we will read this commentary by Baladeva Vidyabhushana because his contribution to our everything, to our movement, that's his commentaries to Bhagavad Gita, following the footsteps of his illustrious spiritual master Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he describes like this, how Krishna replies to this, how Krishna answers this question of Arjuna. So how this dark, ignorant jiva, which are there in ignorance since time immemorial, how this jiva can get knowledge. how it can be enlightened, how it can realize this knowledge. So Baladevi Vibhushana says, no, not at all. Devotees themselves need not endeavor to show them special mercy I bestow upon them. The lamplight of knowledge. In other words, they don't have to worry about how to achieve my mercy, because it's my mercy. I personally endeavor to give it to them. I am Atma Bhavasto, situated within the working of their intelligence, because the knowledge that I give them can be revealed only by me. It's not something which comes from Sattva Gun, because we know the different levels of knowledge. First is Sattva Gun, which comes from Sattva. Right? When we just perform our duties, and this is level of Sattva Gun. In Sattva Gun, everyone fulfills their duties. So knowledge will come as a result of this. And the second level of knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, which comes from performing bhakti. And here, Baladevi Vibhushana said that it's not that knowledge. This third level of knowledge, only me who can reveal. I am revealing this knowledge to you. It doesn't come from any other sources from me. That's our spiritual intelligence. I have to stop here. We just started. We didn't proceed, we didn't develop this topic because it's so deep and so profound, but at one point we have to. If you have any questions or comments, and also we have today Ganga Puja. It's a wonderful event, and Ganga, the savior of the whole world, whole our universe, he gives liberation to all the planetary system. She's flowing through all the three worlds, and coming here, he's liberating us as well. I wanted to say a lot about Ganges today, but we don't have hope you will hear Katha today. We have like 3-4 starting this wonderful ceremony of Ganga Puja. Please come, attend, and you will be eternally benefited. And also today is the appearance day of Ganga Mata Gosvāmī. He was also a great saint, like manifestation of Ganga in this world. So even kings were getting shelter from here as a spiritual master, and other personalities as well. So if you have any questions or comments, we can discuss. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji, for your class. Mataji, about the lineage of Kali that you mentioned, first canto, which canto and which chapter it is there, Mataji, if you please repeat.
The lineage of Kali.
Yes.
4:8. For Canto 4, Chapter 8.
There is mentioned in details.
Yes, all the details are there. The whole lineage is there.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, if you have more questions, you can ask me personally. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.